Hey everybody, today we get to tour Wilson's Creek in Springfield, Missouri. I am pumped to be here. I love this place. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wilson's Creek National Battlefield near Springfield, Missouri. Since this is the first time I had an opportunity to take everyone on a tour here, I decided to make two videos. The first video will highlight the personal stops I wanted to show everyone on the actual battlefield. The second will be about the visitor center and the museum. This first video isn't going to be a history lesson. It's not going to be about all the events and the specific details that took place. This is just my personal tour of several stops that I made during the visit. Remember, these videos are just for fun and hopefully a little informative. Today we will get to see several Union and Confederate battery positions, the headquarters of General Sterling Price, the Ray House, Bloody Hill, locations of some of the heaviest fighting that took place, locations of a mass Union grave, and the spot where General Nathaniel Lyon was ultimately killed. Please know that there is so much more to see and explore than just these specific locations on the battlefield. That being said, I thought these would offer some great visuals as we toured around and did a brief summary of what took place. The Battle of Wilson's Creek, or the Battle of Oak Hills, took place on the morning of August 10, 1861. The Confederate Army, under the command of General Sterling Price, would have over 12,000 men camped in and around the local farms and homes of the Gibsons, the Sharps, the Rays, the Edwards, and the Shorts. The much smaller Union force of roughly 5,400 men was under the command of General Nathaniel Lyon. They would be outnumbered by more than 2-1 during this battle, but even with that disadvantage, they would ultimately be the army that would start the attack and the battle. Lyon was a staunch pro-Union abolitionist who was determined to stop the Confederate uprising in Missouri that was being spurred on by Governor Jackson and Sterling Price. However, in the weeks and months preceding the battle, the Confederate army was growing in size and the Union force was dwindling. Alright, this is really cool. This is not the original, it was the second cabin, but this is a replica basically of where General Sterling Price had his headquarters during the battle. Just awesome scenery around here. Just check that place out. Many of the 3-month volunteer enlistment terms were now up, and added to that was an embarrassing defeat for Colonel Sigel at the Battle of Carthage. Lyon had requested more troops, but no help would be provided. He was now at a crossroads. Stopping his pursuit now might embolden Price and could cause Missouri to be lost to the Confederacy. Pushing forward, though, could be a disaster in the face of a much larger army. While camped in Springfield, he would decide his best course of action was to attack the Confederates. At the same time, Price and McCulloch, who were camped at Wilson's Creek, were planning their own attack on Lyon and his troops in Springfield. However, their attack plan would be delayed on account of rain and the problems that caused with keeping their soldiers' ammunition dry. Lyons devised his strategy. He would split his force into two. Sigel would command 1,200 men around the Confederate position and attack their flank, while Lyon would command the other 4,200 men and attack the Confederate front. This attack would need to be carried out in the very early hours of August 10th in order to keep the element of surprise on their side and a victory within reach. At first light, on the morning of August 10th, the Union began their surprise attack on the opposing forces. Lyon's force overran the enemy camps and took the high ground at the crest of a ridge. That ridge is known as Bloody Hill. Pulaski's Arkansas battery would help to stall this attack, though, and give Price's infantry time to form lines. The armies would trade attacks and counterattacks over the course of the morning. Sigel's attack would be successful at first when his brigade arrived in the Confederate rear soon after dawn. His artillery fire would rout Confederate cavalry at Sharp's Farm. He would pursue them, but General McCulloch rallied several Confederate units to lead a counterattack. That's when things took a turn for the worst. Sigel's men mistook the 3rd Louisiana for the 1st Iowa Infantry, meaning his own troops since they also wore gray uniforms. They withheld their fire until these Confederates were nearly upon them, causing his flank to be devastated, and a retreat would follow that. While there would be more fighting from Siegel, this ultimately left the Union troops under the command of Lyon, Sweeney, and Sturgis holding out alone. After this, the momentum of the battle shifted in the South's favor. Lyon was already wounded twice at this point, and worried that the day was lost, he attempted to lead a counterattack. This would be short-lived though, because he would be shot in the heart, and the charge would fall apart after his death. Major Sturgis, the highest-ranking regular army officer remaining, assumed command of the Union Army after Lyon's death. By 11 a.m., the Union forces had already repulsed 3 separate Confederate charges. Ammunition and men were nearly exhausted, so Sturgis retreated rather than risk a 4th Confederate attack. Around 1,317 Union soldiers and an estimated 1,232 Confederate soldiers were either killed, wounded, or captured. Though the Confederate force won the field, they were unable to pursue the retreating Union forces. The Battle of Wilson's Creek was the first major battle fought west of the Mississippi River. The battle was known as the Battle of Oak Hills by the Confederacy, and is sometimes referred to as the Bull Run of the West. I genuinely enjoyed making today's video, and I really do hope you all liked it, and were able to learn something new. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.